Welcome to this week's Judge Dredd Paint and Mini. This time we're back with Warlord Games and we're doing Aimee Nixon. So Aimee Nixon is a character from the 2000 AD strip Low Life and Judge Dredd. She was born in the Low Life, which is the deprived and rundown area of Mega City 1 in 2097. When she was a child, she saw her mother murdered by a strange man who told Aimee he was her father and had done it so the two of them could be together. Aimee picked up the gun he had dropped and shot him, blowing off half his face. Oh! When the judges arrived, she told them that she had killed the man in self-defense. Her upbringing in the low life had given her a natural ability to hoodwink any lie detector, so she was believed. She later became a cadet judge and graduated from the Academy of Law at the age of 18. She was such a good liar that she entered the Wally Squad, basically the undercover judges, and lived in the low life under the supervision of Judge Thora. Tough and uncompromising, Aimee voluntarily had her left arm removed and replaced with bionic just to help cover her background up. She's crazy! This was a fun model to paint. It's been a while since I've actually painted a Warlord one. Been going through a few of the older models of late, so this was a nice little change of pace, so let's dive in. Like all good painting videos, let's start at the beginning. Primed black, heavy dry brush of a grey, and it already looks pretty sweet. She's got a real cool punk vibe going on. I'm going to start off with the pallid witch flesh. And we are going to obviously hit all the fleshy areas. Let's get this camera zoomed a bit better. There we go. So we're going to do the head, the chest, and her hand. There's also some patches on her legs peeking through the holy jeans that she's got. With the holy jeans, I wanted to make sure I was neat and tidy, so we got a good smooth coat of all the colour on. This is going to make my life so much easier later on. We then hopped in to the pallid bone, which I am using on her leg that has the I'm not sure what it would be, leggings or a tights. This isn't going to be the final colour. It's more to block it out so that I can see what's going to be there. Plus also give it a nice muted undercoat for the brighter colours that I do want to hit it up with later on. It's a pretty quick step. Just making sure I got plenty on. Getting into all those deep shadowy areas. Yeah, I really wasn't sure how I was going to do that sock. In my head, I had like an ivory colour, maybe some green going on, so I just wanted a mute colour. Went back to the pallid flesh, because as I was spinning the model around, I realised I missed some spots, which is really easily done on this model. She has a lot of detail in quite a small amount of area. So yeah, I missed a couple of points on her thighs. I was looking at the painting or painted model that Warlord Games produced, and the one that you saw me paint at the end there was actually covered up with her underclothes. I decided to go with a flesh tone, assuming that her leggings stopped somewhere around her shorts. But hey, everybody has their own preference on how to paint it. That was mine. The next step was the most easiest, and it's the runic grey, and I'm going to use it for all the metallic parts. So like I said, super easy step. It's the pistol and it's her bionic arm. Her backstory is pretty messed up. Like, she's so determined to blend in with the criminal scum that she purposely had her arm removed and a crude bionic put in to replace it. Now, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but Low Life is a great comic series to pick up if you've not read it. It's got Dirty Frank in it. It also has Lenny Zero, who Warlord Games, if you're watching this, I need a Lenny Zero model, and I also need his polar bear, please. Can we make that happen? Also has, obviously, Jack Point is a part of it all, and Aimee Nixon. Now, as I was looking at the Warlord Games version, they had a lot of purple. They went very purple, very lilac, which I get, but I kind of want her backstory to be that she's in the sector because she's actually infiltrating the Blood Pack gang that I'm building for the Dan Abnett block. And to that end, she has to be wearing red somewhere. How else are they going to know that she's interested in being part of their gang? So I decided the trousers was a good area. The jacket, I have in my head a dark blue colour. Kind of want it to be denim-y. I think with the other colours that I'm starting to form in my head, she's going to look a little bit like a USA flag. But I think it's all going to work. We'll have to see. As always, at the beginning of this video, I actually had the finished model, so we know it's going to work. You also see me completely cover up the flesh by accident. I messed it up, and in a little bit of annoyance and rage, I just plastered the whole section in red. It's okay, I'll go back once it's dry and cover it with the pallid witch flesh again. Mistakes happen, it's just annoying when you see it happen. And it's really hot in Ottawa. Temperature's getting to me. I think this is gonna pop, like red trousers, a nice bright blue jacket, very dark boots of some description. Not sure if I'm gonna go brown or black. I gotta be honest with you, I hadn't worked out the full colour scheme yet. I'm just playing with colours as we're going along. I did know I wanted red, and I was like, you know what? Red will go well on her leggings as well. Just adds to the theme. This ended up being quite fiddly. Gotta try and keep it straight. Keep within the lines that are there. Don't want to mess it up too much. And whilst I'm doing that, will probably be a good time to say like, comment, subscribe, drop me a like. I'm super happy with the people that I'm getting to chat with more and more. I love the fact that you're coming in and talking to me. So keep it up. Ask questions, let me know what you want to see, and I'll see if I can get it done. Now to work on that jacket. So I went with the High Lord blue. Has a very nice colour to it. It's a bit brighter than the judge's uniform. But it's kind of a nod to the judges. Maybe she's hinting that she's a judge. Likes to flaunt the idea that she is one. It's also at this stage, as I'm going around the model, I realised her midriff is actually on show. Just above the belt, you can see a small strip of her back and her stomach at the front. So I'm going to have to crack open the pallid bone for the third time and paint that in. It's fine because I got to fix the leg patches that I messed up. So I got a good excuse to go in again and fix it all. But yeah, I am liking where this is going. These colours are pretty bright. She's going to fit in next to the Blood Packers, but also stand out enough because of this blue jacket. I've not actually read the rules for Wally judges. I'm not entirely sure how they work. There must be some special rules about using them. I'll have to read up on that. But if you are interested in the Warlord games and the lore game, make sure you're checking out the Rookie's Guide 2 series that I've just started. I'm attempting to go through the rulebook, explain certain rules, try and make it as user friendly as possible, and see if I can tempt a few more people to start playing. I'm over here in Canada. There's not a huge Judge Dredd fan base, though comically I have found some locally. I need to reach out to them and make sure I can get a game in soon. With this all drying now, I move on to the dark wood speed paint. And I'm going to hit up the boots, a belt. I think that's it, just the boots and the belt. Just give her some dark colours to help make that red look brighter. Helps the rest of the model pop a bit more. You can now see I've done the midriff. I've also got the patches on the leg fixed. I'm still unsure about her leggings. Not entirely sure how I should do that section. Now once again I looked at Warlord Games painted version to see what I should do for the head. They use purple on the mohawk. I wasn't a huge fan of it, so I went with the green that she seemingly has when she's on Titan. Now, Titan is the prison colony for judges gone bad, so I think you can all assume what happens to poor Aimee Nixon. She does end up on Titan. She ends up with a face rebreather as well, so I'm really hoping Warlord Games decide to do some Titan judges to go with Chief Judge Grice. I think it would be cool to have a proper set of Titan judges that are all fully respirated up. Otherwise I'm going to have to take some pliers to models and try and convert my own. I don't want to do that. So Warlord Games, let me give you my money. Actually, I should just start a shopping list. I need a Lenny Zero model. I need a Polar Bear model. I need Dave the Orangutan, aka the Mayor of Mega City 1. And I need more Titan corrupt judges, please. And as you just saw, there is number 5 with the Witch Pallid skin. 5 times this pot of paint has now come out during this session. I am going to use it on the leggings. I'm fixing up some skin again because it went a bit pink. The red hadn't fully dried and it then bled in. Doesn't happen often. This is me being lazy and not actually letting the paint dry. So I'm just going around fixing all the mistakes I'm making. It's also at this stage that I decide I'm going to use yellow on the leggings. And to make sure it's bright enough, I'm going to just reapply these lines. I'm going to keep to the middle so that the nice shade that it's given in the shadows is going to work. But yeah, I want to make sure I got a pretty bright base for the yellow to go on. With everything nicely drying up, I moved on to Crusader Flesh. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this paint. Some days I use it and it works wonderfully. Other days it goes very patchy. Unfortunately, today was a patchy day. Doesn't dry the way I want it to, so in the final imagery you'll see that I've fixed it up with a more Pallid Witch. I'm telling you, this video is not sponsored by Pallid Witch, but it really should be. I used it a lot on this model, and I feel to good effect, but I have never gone back and forth so much on a paint. Yeah, just making sure I get a good coverage as best I could. I had to put a fan on it. It's helping move the air around. It's so hot and humid right now. But even in this video, you can see the difference it's making. It's adding warmth to the model. But because I've got the fan to try and keep the paint alive, it's also causing it to pool in weird ways because it's blowing up. But I wanted to get this model painted. I wasn't going to sit around and wait for slightly cooler weather. We are currently having a weird late summer heat wave here in Ottawa. Global warming, it's a thing. Let's not deny it anymore. Now it's time for one of my most used paints in this set, the Zealot Yellow. I'm just gonna nice and quickly wrap around the leggings. This is the only point that's gonna have yellow. So I don't need to be too crazy sensitive. The red is gonna cover up any overspill. But with that nice bright Pallid Witch flesh and the darker bone wash that I got underneath, it really pops. It's also at this stage that I finally decided to copy Warlord Games, and I got rid of the flesh of the upper thigh and replaced it with the yellow of the stocking. And with it now in front of the fan, we are finished with what I would classify tabletop ready. I go back and add a few extra coats just to brighten up some areas. You'll notice the yellow's a little bit brighter, and of course I fixed the skin tone. So enjoy the photos, make sure you drop me a like, subscribe and all that good stuff. And I'll see you next week for the next model. As always, if I can get this in focus. Whoop, there we go. Cheers for watching.